If you are thinking about moving to Aubrey, Texas, you want to stick around and watch this video where we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons and what it is to live in Aubrey, Texas in 2024. What's going on, guys? So this is Gus and Carla here. We are local realtors here in the North Dallas area. We do help many clients relocate, move, sell in this beautiful North Dallas area. So if you want more information about what it is and how to live here in the North Dallas area, our information is going to be right up here. You can contact us. We would love to answer any questions you may have. So we're excited to bring you this video about the pros and cons of Aubrey, Texas.
Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about pros and cons of living in Aubrey. We have been living in Aubrey now going on 5 years.
Yeah.
And we've done a previous video about Aubrey, so feel free to watch that one. That one was done a couple years ago. So this is like a remake on what it has been like after a couple of years here and what our thoughts are about it. And with so many new people and more people moving into Aubrey, we thought we would update the video and let you guys know if you're thinking about moving to Aubrey, what it actually is to live here, so you guys have a good idea. So Aubrey in general, it's a smaller town. So a lot of you might be familiar with Frisco, McKinney, kind of like the bigger areas. Aubrey is still pretty rural.
Yeah.
There is a lot of new construction here going on. It's a smaller city. It's not like huge. It doesn't stretch out as far as like say McKinney does. McKinney's huge. Frisco,
right.
Prosper's another big one. Salina. So Aubrey's still kind of very small. You are gonna find a lot of horse ranches nearby, especially in downtown Aubrey. So kind of where we're located is kind of on the newer side of Aubrey where there's a lot of construction going on. But the original downtown Aubrey still has a lot of horse ranches, and you're gonna find like quaint little shops and a lot of the original of what was in Aubrey, which if you look at a map, sometimes it comes up as Krugerville.
Yeah, actually it's interesting how this, this whole area, sometimes those cities might come up as different names, but it's all Aubrey. Krugerville, Aubrey, it's all the same. And so it's a small little quaint little town, compared to other bigger cities like Carla mentioned, but it's still very nice to live in. So we're going to talk about the pros and cons. Let's jump in. Okay, so the first things we're going to be talking about are the pros of living in Aubrey, Texas. And number one on our list is housing affordability, or just cost of living in general. So compared to other major cities here, especially around the nation, but compared to other cities here around Aubrey, affordability is still a big factor where a lot of people and families are still moving into this area. So housing affordability is a major one. So you can still find affordable housing and get more for your money here in Aubrey. So especially if you are looking into maybe the older side of Aubrey, and I like how you said earlier, it was like we are in the newer side of Aubrey, like new Aubrey and then older Aubrey. So a lot of new construction going on here. So housing affordability is still probably number one in this area, right? So that is one of the pros of living here in Aubrey, Texas.
Yes, so when we say affordability, I think some of our viewers are gonna maybe not agree, just because if you're looking at our previous videos, yes, price has gone up, but it's still very affordable. Now that's not to say that prices don't need to come down more or that the interest rates are still high. That doesn't mean like, hey, everybody can still afford a house here. That's not what it means. It means that compared to the cities around us, it's more affordable. You've got Frisco, you've got Prosper, you've got Salina, so you can definitely get more square footage for the price. And it is, affordable in today's market. Prices have gone up, but again, where has the prices not gone up?
Right. It's just inflation. It's just all around the nation. So it's not, prices have gone up since maybe the last video that we did. But it's still affordable, like you said, compared to other cities around us. If you compare it to McKinney, Frisco, Prosper, which are great cities. But if you are pretty tight on the budget, which a lot of people are right now with the high interest rates, Aubrey might be a great option for you and you can get, like we said, right? You can get a pretty decent house, and even brand new house for maybe you would get something older in other cities like Carrollton, maybe closer to Dallas, Richardson, areas like that, which are older homes. But you can get maybe a brand new house, maybe for the same price, right?
Yes. And then within Aubrey, there's different neighborhoods, of course.
Yes, of course.
Some neighborhoods are even more affordable than others. If you're comparing maybe Windridge to Sandbrook, or, you know, even Silverado, they're in the mix. You're going to get, you know, a great house for under $500,000.
Oh, absolutely. Still. Yes. So you have many great options that you can pick from, depending on your budget, depending on your needs and your wants, depending on what kind of amenities you want, right? So, like you mentioned, Silverado is a great option, which is a little bit deeper into the original or old Aubrey area, versus like Sandbrook Ranch, which is the newer side of Aubrey. So still affordability, and I think still what drives a lot of people into Aubrey, Texas.
Yes. So another great positive pro that Aubrey has is a community feel.
Yeah.
So I know that when we originally moved here from California, that was really big for us, and that's kind of what drove us here in the first place. And within that, different neighborhoods have a different feel as well, but in general, Aubrey just has a great community feel where they, you know, they're like a little community, like they stick together.
Sure.
You know, it's still very small and quaint, so like everybody in Aubrey kind of knows everybody, which is a little weird. But like social media is so big, and there's so many pages that you can get on and like just get to know your neighbors, and people here are just really friendly.
Yeah. And good thing that you brought up your Facebook pages, because there's a lot of people that, you know, go into the community or the neighborhood Facebook pages, and they just find a lot of information. A lot of people help each other out for the most part, right? And like anywhere else, you might find some drama here and there, but for the most part, people are, you know, just want to help each other, very friendly. Maybe there's a missing dog somewhere, and there's always somebody there posting, hey, missing dog, who's, you know, hopefully we can find the owner and stuff like that. So, so yeah.
Yeah, so it's still very popular for families, and just, you know, it's great to just like get out and hang out and get to know your neighbors, where a lot of other states, I don't think, emphasize that.
Right, especially us coming from California, where like people are like, whoa, stay, you know, distancing. Right? Like we knew social distancing before COVID in California. So here it's more of like, you know, depending on different communities too, different neighborhoods that you live in have a different feel. But for the most part, if you go out during the evening, I mean, you see a lot of families walking around, riding bikes, you know, golf carts. Riding is very popular here in this area. So stuff like that. Yeah,
where you're not going to get that same feeling the closer you get into Dallas, because it's more of a open community versus, you know, master planned communities. So houses are just very not isolated, but they're kind of spread out. And in communities, master planned communities like these, there's just more of a neighborhood type of feeling where everybody kind of knows everybody. And I think the HOAs here do a great job in providing events where you can meet friends and neighbors and get to know other people with similar interests.
Yeah, you may be asking like, what am I paying for my HOA if I'm waiting to a HOA community? Well, then a lot of them do host a lot of like weekend activities. They have calendars that are planned out throughout the whole month, which are awesome. We didn't get that in California. We experienced first those kind of activities in neighborhoods like this. So yes. That is our number 2 pro. Let's go to the next one. All right, guys, let's jump into the number 3 pro of living in Aubrey, Texas. And that is the outdoor activities that we have available here around this small town. So there are a lot of parks that are available to you. We see a lot of people doing biking trails, walking trails that are available to you. And then depending on which community you live in, some of those communities may have even more walking trails, more biking trails available for the residents. But if you go out of your community, you can still find a lot of outdoor activities in or around the Aubrey area, right? So if you're into maybe lakes, and if you love to hang out at the lakes, they have We have plenty of options for you. Little Elm has the Little Elm Beach, which is really cool. And there's other lakes nearby within maybe 45 to an hour, distance, like Lake Lavon is one of them. Lake Dallas is another one. And if you want to take a little bit more of a drive, you can go to Lake Texoma, which is maybe an hour and a half drive north of us, which is very popular. And so if you are into outdoor activities, you won't miss out here in this beautiful Aubrey area.
So the next pro that we have is proximity to other cities, including major cities. So when we first moved to Aubrey, I really liked the fact that it was so close to Frisco, so close to Salina, so close to Prosper. Frisco has tons of things to do, just shopping, dining, all the things really. Right. And you're still pretty close to Denton, which a lot of people don't know much of Denton, but we actually go there quite often because there's a lot of kids sports and activities for the kids out that way, as well as like water parks and a lot of different stuff. So Aubrey is super close to all of these major cities, and you're not having to pay the price tag that comes with it.
Right, so hey, stick around for one of our cons, which is kind of linked to what we're gonna talk about right now here on the proximity to major cities. So you wanna make sure to stick around to that because it's gonna be interesting if you are looking to move here into this area. But yes, so maybe a 45-minute drive to Dallas. If you're going to the airport, for example, we've been there plenty of times, so 45 minutes is probably the max that it will take us to get to the airport. So just to give you a rough idea, an estimate of what you would expect on a drive to downtown Dallas. So yes, proximity to all these cities, right? Frisco being probably the number one entertainment in this area, right? So we're very close to Frisco. A lot of stuff going on in Frisco. Fields West is one of the biggest development that's happening right now in Frisco. Of course, the new Universal Kids theme park that's going to be breaking ground not too far out right now, and that's coming up next here in Frisco. So yeah, it's lots to do in other cities around here.
So something else that I think is such a big pro, and it's proximity to major cities and whatnot, is also proximity to like shopping and dining. So where we are currently located, you're going to border Prosper and Frisco directly, and maybe Salina, depending on where exactly you are. But those of you that are a little bit familiar with Sandbrook Ranch, we do a lot of videos on Sandbrook Ranch. They are located on, correct me if I'm wrong, 1385. You'd think I'd know this by now, but 1385. And there is going to be so much coming here that it's going to be just amazing for people that are investing in their homes here. So we're going to have an H-E-B down the street. For those of you that are out of state, H-E-B is very popular grocery store. It has absolutely everything that you could possibly need. Yeah. And
I love H-E-B. Just a side note, I'm an H-E-B guy all the way.
Yes. So California people, you don't know what H-E-B is. It's a shame. Although I don't know. There might have been talks about something going on over there. But great store. And then there is going to be a Costco just up the street from 1385, which is amazing. Yeah. So there's a lot of really cool things that are going to be coming to the neighborhoods nearby. So Aubrey is definitely growing. Yeah. And I think it's such a great thing for everybody that is purchasing homes here in the area, because at a certain point in time, you're going to have absolutely everything you need within just a short drive.
That's right. Yeah. The only thing that maybe, I don't know, maybe it could happen, maybe not. Maybe I'm, it's, what if we get a Bucky's here nearby?
I don't think it's gonna happen.
What? That would be amazing. Having a Bucky's over here?
I don't think so.
Anyways, we have one towards going towards Denton, which is the next, probably the closest one from here. If you're going to the Denton area, and then we have another one in Melissa, which we kind of, we try to take advantage once we're over there in that area. We usually, sneak into the H-E-B and, get
Bucky's.
some stuff.
Bucky's.
I'm sorry, Bucky's, yes. Bucky's, let me correct
So Bucky's is dangerous. For those of you that don't know what Bucky's is, just Google it. It's a crazy gas station, shopping place.
You can literally find everything at Bucky's. Anyways, we're kind of going straight here. So,
but people want to know. They want to know. Want to know. But there's no Bucky's.
There's no Bucky's. That's just me dreaming. What if they do have a Bucky's nearby in the future? Never know. Anyways, let's go into the cons. All right, guys, so let's jump into the cons of living in Aubrey, Texas. And you want to make sure to stay and watch out for the last one, which could be a deal breaker for some of you guys. So if you're thinking about moving here into Aubrey, Texas. So let's jump right into our number one, which is limited amenities. Limited amenities here in Aubrey, Texas. To be honest, it's still a small town. Not a lot of businesses are actually in Aubrey, right? So if you want any type of dining, entertainment, stuff like that, you're gonna have to drive out of Aubrey, go into probably downtown Frisco. Prosper is starting to grow more in their entertainment environment. Lots more dining for sure in Prosper. So just keep in mind that if you're looking to maybe have an entertainment feel environment, you're not gonna find it in Aubrey. You're gonna have to drive out of the city of Aubrey and go to other cities like I just mentioned, right? Plano,
Yeah.
it's another big one, and Frisco, which is the major ones that people go to for entertainment.
Yes.
So yeah, so that is one of the first cons: limited amenities. Not a lot of stuff to do here in actual Aubrey, Texas.
Okay, so the next one is gonna be a weather. So a lot of these I feel like are repetitious from our last video,
Sure.
but it just is what it is. So like Aubrey hasn't changed a whole ton in the couple of years that we've been here. There are some things that are definitely updated and can make or break your decision whether to move here or not. But definitely weather is one of them, and that's not an Aubrey thing.
Right.
So that's just a Texas thing.
Yeah.
So I don't love the weather here at all.
Yeah.
It is too hot in the summer. It's too cold in the winter. There is a short month in between everything where you can like go outside and do stuff.
Sure.
But I'm also a baby when it comes to weather.
Sure. Yeah, this is subjective, right? 'Cause
I don't think so.
I like the weather here. I like that we have all sorts of weather in one day, possibly. We can have rain in one day. We can have sunny day in the same day. We might be able to have a chill, a cold front that same day. We can have a tornado warning that same day. So I like all the different types of seasons that we have here in the summer in one day, or, just spread it out throughout the whole year. So yeah, that is very cool for me that we get to experience, coming from California, which is sunshine all year round for the most part.
That's not bad.
It's not bad, but obviously we can't buy that type of house that we want in California. So we're here, and I love the weather here during the summer, hot summers for sure. If I step outside, I'm just gonna start sweating. That's just me personally. I love to sweat. So, if I'm kicking the ball around with the kids, I'm gonna start sweating. And I love it. During the winter, February, March, the past few years, we've had snow. And so if you're looking for maybe a snow area, but not too much where you're gonna get cooked inside, hey, this is a great place to be. Several years ago, we got something called Snowmageddon, which literally we did get snowed in for a couple of days. A lot of people lost, power and stuff like that. But hey, it's part of living here. But one of the major things that we've seen a lot of people freaking out about, especially if you're not from this area, are the severe weather. What's the timing of that?
The severe weather storms. So typically, if you're not from the area, this is part of Tornado Alley, which I didn't realize until we moved here. So if that's not your thing, don't move here. If that's not your thing.
Is it your thing?
It's not my thing, but I had already, we had already signed papers.
Yes.
It was what it is.
So don't be surprised that if you move here, you're gonna start, and not just Aubrey, right? I'm talking about just this Dallas area in general. Don't be surprised if you start hearing tornado warnings and on your phone. Severe weather is just a thing around here. So
sure, it's just all weather here is severe. So like if it's hot, it's too hot.
Yeah.
If it's cold, it's too cold. The weather here is just completely bipolar. But with all of that said, there's people that love living here and they love the weather. So in perspective, it's definitely a con because you don't, depending on where you're coming from. There are people that we've talked to that come from like, Seattle, and they're like, oh, this is amazing. Yeah. Or people from Illinois that are like, oh, this is not cold.
Yeah.
Where I'm like freezing and it's like not cold to them at all. So depending on where you come from.
Depending on what you're used to, yeah.
Right. Sure. It's, it's not that bad. And then you just get a storm shelter for tornadoes and it's fine.
Yeah. And I was actually going to mention that just as a side tip, we actually ended up getting a tornado shelter, storm shelter. It's in the garage, above ground. So, and we love it. We take it everywhere we move. So, I don't think we're going to get rid of it, right? No, we're not going to get rid of it. I tried that for years. So anyways, that is it for weather. And let's move on to our last one. So this is the one that you have been waiting for. All right, guys. And our last con that we have of living in Aubrey, Texas. And pretty much this one goes to probably most of Aubrey, right? And that is the commute times, AKA the traffic that we are experiencing here in Aubrey and the surrounding areas. And that is mostly due because of this road infrastructure that has not caught up with all the demand and all the people moving into this area. I think the city did not do a great job of anticipating all the growth that took place especially during COVID and up to this date. On especially 380, Road 380, US 380 is a huge road that takes you all the way to Denton, and going east will take you all the way to McKinney, Princeton, that area, right? So that is creating chaos in this area with 380 being expanded. Now they are in the works right now in 2024, and you can see the progress, and they're trying to create to
you
get that.
You don't hear those often if you've heard that.
Yeah, it's probably an ambulance. So the expansion of US 380 is trying to push it forward to get it done as soon as possible. Several overpasses on 380 from Denton all the way to like the Prosper where Collin County meet. Denton County, I'm going a little bit, maybe too much into detail, but just keep in mind that traffic is a big deal here in this area, and it's what keeps several families from actually maybe moving here.
Yes, so there's nothing worse than getting stuck in traffic. We come from California. I don't want to get stuck in traffic. That's just not my thing, but there are ways to avoid it. If you have a remote job, it's a great location. If you're only going into the office a couple days out of the week and you can arrange your schedule as need be, you can go before the traffic begins. You can come home before the traffic starts. So there are ways to go around it. It's just, if you're having to commute to Dallas or different areas on a day-to-day basis, Aubrey might not be your thing. Now, with that said, keep in mind the North Dallas area in general is growing. So you're probably going to see a lot of the same traffic in Prosper. You're going to see a lot of the same traffic in Salina. There are certain neighborhoods where it's more of a direct shot. So if it's something that you're looking for and you need to commute constantly, then you might want to really be specific about the neighborhood that you're trying to choose.
Right.
But if that's not an issue, here's the thing: we work remote.
Right.
And I don't have to go out that often, so I get to pick and choose when I go out. I get my groceries delivered because I don't want to sit in traffic. So there are ways to avoid this and still be able to get a beautiful home in a great location. And keep in mind that once everything is said and done, these are growing pains. It's all, everything kind of went through this at one point.
Right. Yeah. So back in the day, Frisco went through this probably back in the day. So look at Frisco now. Everybody wants to be in Frisco. Prices have boomed in Frisco. So that's kind of what we're forecasting in this area. So yeah, commute times, guys. Keep that in mind if you're commuting to the Dallas area and anywhere else. If you don't work from home, you have to commute every day. Yeah, that's something to think about. Give us a call. Let us, maybe we can let you and guide you into maybe the best community that would best suit your family. Maybe it's not Aubrey, but we do help many families move into, other communities as well.
So there you have it, guys. I know a lot of this information might be a little repetitious if you watched our last video, but in conclusion, really, it's not a lot has changed aside from more and more people moving into the area, which has created more traffic than there used to be. Other than that, not much has changed. Aubrey still remains one of the most sought after cities in North Dallas because of affordability. The type of neighborhood feel that you get from here that you wouldn't get closer to Dallas maybe.
Yeah.
In all, I love Aubrey. I would not move to another city, even though it's, a little bit congested.
Yeah.
There's just so much for our family to do, and we just love this location and the proximity to Frisco and other areas that we constantly drive to.
Yeah, for sure. And we also see the progress that they're making on the road expansions. So I know eventually it's going to get better. So it's just, growing pains for now. And we're okay with that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and that notification bell as well, so you can stay up to date with all of our content that we post each and every week. We love our viewers, and I just want to thank you for that. And you can find our information on the description of this video. You can find our emails, phone numbers as well. You can book an appointment with us as well. But our information is going to be up here, so you can text us, you can call us. We would love to answer any questions that you may have. Let's partner up together and find your dream home here in Aubrey, Texas, or the surrounding areas.